From a proposal level part of a project, the biggest challenge was actually obtaining utility information, especially if we had not worked with that client before and had that database. We usually had to rely on doing a Sunshine 811 design ticket and hoping that we could correspond and get that information. As people are probably familiar, when a proposal is advertised, especially if you don't have, you didn't have the heads up to start preparing for it, there's a really quick turnaround time to prepare your material, your approach or concepts, and get that included in that proposal. So that's a kind of a big risk to be able to obtain information and have an effective approach and angle to your proposal while still meeting that timeline. Taking that to the project design level, our biggest challenge again was that responsiveness from Sunshine 811 utility owners. Some of them are really quick to respond to, others can be a couple months to get that information. So this at least allows, between not getting that information and not have to wait fully for the utility designation as far as survey, us to start moving forward with the design. Obviously that information comes in after. We can use that to verify and maybe it provides some more detailed level that we may not be getting from 4M. But 4M at least lets us get a kickstart on the design process while we're still waiting for that other information to come in, which we didn't have that ability, at least with a confidence level, before 4M. The only skepticism we had before buying 4M was, is this a product that is too good to be true? It sounded amazing. It sounded like, that's almost every designer's dream, to be able to get data in an instant. It sounds like a really great tool, and wondering, why is not everybody using this? Is there a catch? Especially with a subscription cost, how accurate is it going to be, or what level of confidence that we can, feel comfortable starting to go after proposals or develop concept plans, pre-utility designation with survey. And I have to say, once we started using the program and seeing how fast it not only can give us back information, but started to dig into that information and seeing the detail that they give us at the different levels, really demonstrated that 4M is what it says it is. It's that easy to use product, that quick turnaround. And I would say after our first couple of projects, word spread well out the company and more and more people started using it. And it almost has become one of the first steps we do on a proposal or project pursuit, running our 4M project data request. We're a technology focused company. And obviously if there's things that can make our processes more efficient, again, with that level of confidence, we're very open to incorporating technology into our day-to-day process at work, which also equates to a time savings and an efficiency and a profit for the company, which then relates back to our clients as saving them money. Anytime I'm pursuing a proposal, I basically put in a project request for the project limits. I really like that because I may not have some of these opportunities that, those clients as existing clients, so I don't have that information to know. And some of them might be wanting to have us demonstrate what is our local knowledge, what do we know about the project site? So this is one of the easiest tools that we can use to really grab that information, because even if we're not familiar with the site, we have more focused approaches and concepts that we can lay out in the proposal compared to if we didn't have this technology and we're going into it more of a general and not project specific with our pursuits. Actually, a pursuit we went after recently was a design build through the city of Orlando. Essentially, the project was an implementation of their Lake Eola master plan. For those who aren't familiar, Lake Eola Park is what I call the central park for downtown Orlando. And there was recently a master plan developed to upgrade the park. I think the last time it had any kind of significant upgrades was probably the 1980s. And some things that the city asked the design teams to be focusing on was identifying any challenges with existing utilities within the park limits or the project limits, minimizing those impacts, and also how we would do any of our phasing work so that we can prevent outages not only to the park and servicing the park, but as well as to the neighboring communities. I was not expecting to see too much within the park because I know a lot of the information usually is restricted to what's in right-of-ways. When I did the request for the park, I was hoping to get some items. Figured most of it would be around the perimeter of the park where the 4 adjacent roadways are. But lo and behold, it had data for everything within the park, which was amazing, and I was not expecting that. So that was a very early on pleasant surprise from that request. And what we're able to do is first confirm that we knew where all the utilities were, had a high level of confidence, and they didn't see any major impacts. We noticed some larger size gravity sewers that were transversing through the park that were actually part of the city collection system, not just serving the park. There was an intersection they want to do a redesign of. A lot of utilities there. Again, we didn't anticipate impacts to those utilities, but able to demonstrate that we were aware those utilities were there, and able to really touch upon those in our approach, both in the presentation, in the proposal and the presentation. But yeah, it was really amazing what it was able to tell us. And it was also great because we were able to go in there with a higher confidence of how we would be addressing the utilities within the project. I would say within a couple of weeks at least would have taken us to get the same information. that we probably got in a couple of hours. And that's it. That's assuming that we would have gotten responses back from all the utility owners. But we would have had to gone through that process of pulling a Sunshine 811 design ticket, finding out who the suspected utility owners are out there, reaching out to them, coordinating, and hoping that they could provide us back information within enough time to incorporate that and actually address some of these approach considerations from the city within that time frame. We actually included the forum results. So the utility owners, we did a screenshot of what the overall data that came out of our project limit request in both the written proposal and shortlist presentation. So just alone being able to show them that we've got actual information on this project site was a great benefit to highlighting the services and the effort that we can put into the project. Some comments that came out from the city was that they actually liked that we had already done one of the first steps, which was using 4M to prepare a utility map that we could use to move into the design phase with. Other things that they noted too is that having this information allowed us to talk about the available utilities that were there, as well as addressing one of their items, which is talking about avoiding the utility conflicts. We had a great showing in front of the city of Orlando. It's a big client right here. They're very impressed with that we have this technology and this tool to be able to address utility concerns going forward. So I see the forum program impacting our future projects and strategic initiatives at CMA in a couple different ways. I wouldn't say that it's going to completely replace our due diligence we've done, our process that we do for proposals and projects, but it does complement it as one of our most valuable resources in our toolbox, both through proposals, concept, and even basis of design reports or design build projects. So there's so many different implications we can use it for. We're going to actually be doing a couple of meetings internally and make sure everybody's aware that CMA has this tool that we can use on all different pursuits and projects. That's how much we see it as a valuable asset to the company and a valuable asset to our clients. I would describe 4M to someone who's in my same position as this really awesome, easy to use program that is just a website away. It's my go-to for any kind of proposal that pops up. I go in there and it's really easy just to add a project limit. It's almost like a search engine, which takes a database of all public utility information that it has. It introduces the abilities of AI technology, and within minutes, maybe for a big project, maybe within an hour, or starts to spit back at me all this information on what utilities are out there, who the providers are, size, material, utility type, all that information, who the utility owners are. Starts giving me a list of those that it populates for me. So it really is like a snap of a finger. I'm getting all the information, and all it took from me on my end was to just draw the limits of where the project is. Everything else, 4M program steps in and takes it from there. And at the end of it, and almost an instantaneous turnaround, I have all this information that probably would take me at least hours or days to acquire through the traditional process.